Okay, so for today's class, I have a little bit of everything for you. A little bit challenging, but if you're a beginner, don't worry because I'll offer a few variations and you can just take what you want from the class today. All you'll need is your mat and maybe some music if you prefer to use some relaxing music in class. So we'll get started. We're going to begin today in a child's pose, and we'll start with an extended child's pose. So in our extended child's pose, your knees are out nice and wide, your toes are together to touch, and then you can start to sink the hips back, resting them on the heels. Now once they make contact, you can slowly just start to walk those hands forward. Nice and slow, taking your time, maybe shifting your weight side to side like I am, really getting into the hips here right away. And then once you reach the earth, you can begin to rock from side to side with the forehead. And this is really great for allergy season. When we're feeling just a little stopped up, it can help kind of remedy some of those issues. Reach the arms forward, maybe even so far forward that the elbows start to come off of the mat. And then begin to come into your breath, bringing all the awareness, all of your focus inward. Begin to notice any areas of the body that might feel a little tight today. So you can start with thinking maybe about the hips or the legs, the back, the shoulders. And as you go through your class today, we will commit to focusing on those areas, to imagining all of our breath going there to really help us out with that. So kind of a strange thing to think about, imagining the breath going there, but all that really does is allows you to really focus on that part of the body. Focus on the sensations, the changes that the stretches are doing for you. And it can be really, really helpful as well. And just making sure that you're keeping with the breath here. So hopefully by now you found a little bit of a rhythm, whatever rhythm you want to take throughout class today. And if not, go ahead and find that for me. Deep inhales through the nose and even exhales out through the nose or through the mouth. If your body needs a little extra relaxing, you can sigh it out and just notice how good that feels when you really need it. Take one more breath here in this extended child's pose. And then I would like you to bring your arms over to the right. You can bring them off of the mat even. The more you press into the heel of this right hand, the more you're going to notice your chest starting to rotate. That's going to give you more of a stretch. You're going to definitely feel it around the rib cage on the left side. You can rest the ear on your arm, that can be nice. And just imagine the breath going up and down the left side body. Enjoying, appreciating the stretch while you have it. And then when you're ready, we're gonna walk the hands over to the right and then over to the left. Same thing, this time we're really pressing into the left hand. We're coming nice and lightly on the right hand. And that's just allowing our chest to rotate a little bit, extending that stretch a little bit more. big breaths here, in and out. Making space here. One more breath in. And exhale it out, completely coming on back to center. I invite you to bring the hips up. Bring the knees underneath the hip points. Bring the ankles, the feet behind the knees. Spread the fingertips nice and wide, stacking the joints of the wrists and the elbow and the shoulders. Now allow your neck to completely relax here. We want our spine, our neck all in one line. And then I'd like you to take a second and just allow the body to kind of collapse here. Just noticing how that feels to just get real lazy by collapsing. And then I want you to press your feet into the mat. Press the shins, press the knees, press the hands, and engage the core. And notice how that changes the stretch. Notice just how strong you feel as you engage everything from the ground up. Inhale, bend the elbows, bring the chest towards the earth, and then through the hands, lifting the tailbone, lifting the crown of the head for cow pose. And then exhale, find the opposite, bow and lift for cat. The top of the spine is super, super lifted. The hands are pulling, pushing into the earth. We're keeping our ears away from our shoulders. And then big inhale in as we bow and come forward. And then on the exhale, coming on back. So follow your own breath. We're gonna find about 3 more each way. Once again, sighing out if you need to, especially since you're in your home. It's not like anyone, well, we wouldn't judge you anyway. But no one's there too, so don't worry about it. Good, at your last one. This is one of my favorite stretches ever to do for the back. We're gonna find our puppy dog pose. So go ahead and just like we did before, begin reaching those fingertips forward, but this time keep the hips stacked over the knees. Melt the chest towards the earth. You can once again bring the forehead to the mat, or you can look forward if you want. And just notice the stretch that you get in the top of the back and the shoulders, even in the collarbones and the arms here. The spine is long, the tailbone is lifted, and everything should feel nice and open here. Take a couple more breaths here, in and out, in and out. Just like we came, we're gonna do the opposite, so walk those hands back, coming back into your tabletop. Engage the core, and then I'd like you to just lift the knees and hold. Relax the shoulders, squeeze the abs in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips up, downward facing dog. Start to walk out the feet right away, bending one knee and then the other. Maybe rotating the hips from side to side if that feels comfortable for you, if that feels more natural. Just doing what you need to do to get cozy here. We're gonna have a lot of these today, so we want it to feel as good as possible. Relax the neck. Find equal weight between the front and the back. So that means putting a little more weight in the feet to take some away from the shoulders. That's awesome. Or maybe you're opposite. Maybe you need to take a little bit more of the weight into the hands. So make those adjustments accordingly based on what your body is telling you. Inhale, send the right foot up to the sky. You can go ahead and point the toes here if you like, or you can have the foot flexed. Good, and then bring that foot in between the hands. We're gonna find a nice, just little runner's lunge here. Let's work out the back leg by shifting our weight forwards and backwards. And then when you're ready, bend into the left knee and then spring forward, placing the feet beside one another. Inhale, sweep the hands up the feet, up the legs, all the way to the thighs. Roll the shoulders back, sending the tailbone back, the crown of the head forward. We're tucking those elbows in. And then exhale to fold. Let's find a really, really big bend in here. So we can even rest our chests on our thighs here. We'll grab opposite elbows. Release the neck. If you're like me and it's always up like this, just remind it to relax. And we'll just find a little movement. Hopefully feeling really, really nice here. Good. All right, press your weight into your feet. So I want you really to engage all four corners of the feet. I want you to engage the legs all the way up. Release the hands, and we're slowly, but with strength, roll up to standing. Allowing the neck to be the last thing that comes up. And once you arrive, we're gonna stand nice and strong here. We're going to spread the fingers nice and wide, bringing the palms forward and just allowing the shoulders to relax, coming in towards one another in the spine. Take a second here, do that body scan once again that we did in our child's pose. Notice if anything feels a little tight, doesn't feel super great, and just commit to compassion for your body here. Commit to challenging yourself when the body wants it. And if the body's telling you, whoa, you need to back off, commit to that as well. Yoga is a process. It's not always going to look the same every day. And that's what makes it a practice. All right, take one more big breath in here at the top of the mat. Inhale, exhale, let it go. Good, and then bend the knees, big circle, sweep up to the sky. And then exhale, bringing hands through heart center, nice straight back. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, pick up the right foot, send it back nice and far. And now we're in that little lunge on the left side. So once again, we'll take a few moments here. This will be the longest that we're in these lunges, but we're rocking back and forth. Maybe we're opening up the hip if that feels good. Oh, that felt very nice. So maybe you want to do that on the other side if you choose to do that, because you didn't do it the first time. Good. And then when you're ready, I'd like you to go ahead and just lower the right knee, swing the left behind. And we're gonna find our low plank, but we're gonna start this first one on our knees. So even though you're on your knees, we're still gonna rotate forward. We're still gonna tuck those elbows in as we slowly roller, oh my gosh, all the way to the mat. Tuck the elbows in, roll the shoulders back, press one up, little baby cobra, and then exhale to release. Try a couple other things. So we're gonna bring our hands out to the side. You can come onto the fingertips. I really like to do that. I call them like Spider-Man hands. Roll the shoulders back. Maybe you can come up a little bit higher. And if not, that's fine. And release. Good, one more. This time bringing the hands forward. I know you can't really see my hands here, but they're just nice and extended. And this one's probably gonna be maybe the lowest. But lift on up and exhale, release. Awesome. Go ahead and tuck those toes, lift up to plank and downward facing dog. Taking time here, just like last time, to really work out the legs. And the point of that is so later we can find some stillness, which will be really, really nice to have. Big breaths. Finding your perfect downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, this time we're gonna start on the left. So we're gonna lift the left toes up. Once again, you can point, you can flex, you can bend, whatever you need to do to feel comfortable here. We're working to make sure both the right and the left hands are getting some of the action here. We want them to be strengthened in the same way. And then go ahead and squeeze that in, bringing the left foot forward. This time, not gonna be here for long. Go ahead and just bend the right knee and bring it on in. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. And exhale, hands to heart center, nice straight spine as we fold. Inhale, this time we're sending the left foot back. So coming into our low lunge on this side. Hopefully enjoying it. And then sending both feet back. Coming into our plank, feel free here to come down to the knees if you want. But regardless, whether you're on your knees or on your hands, we're gonna come on forward. We're gonna squeeze everything in as we lower. All the way down to the bellies, hands beside the rib cage, roll the shoulders, maybe coming up a little higher this time, and then exhale, let it go. Curl the toes under, lift up to plank, and exhale, downward facing dog. Lift those hips up, nice and high. Big breath in, exhale, release, inhale, and exhale. One more deep breath in here, exhale completely. And now we're gonna step or we're gonna hop to the front of the mat. So if we're hopping, we'll bring the toes together, we'll bend the knees, and when you're ready, go ahead and hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. And exhale, down through heart center. Inhale, send both feet back, high plank on your toes or on your knees. And exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog if you're ready. And exhale, downward facing dog. So by now we should be nice and warmed up. So we'll start our second flow. So when you're ready, inhale the right leg up to the sky. This time I'd like you to bend the knee, opening up the hip. Maybe the left heel comes down to the earth. We're bowing our chest down to the ground. Maybe making big circles Or maybe looking underneath our left shoulder, our left armpit to take a peek at those toes. Now you might be here and you're like, this is perfect for me, I'm really feeling it. If it's in your practice, I invite you to try out Wild Thing. So in Wild Thing, we're just gonna take these right toes and we're gonna bring them over until our chest is toward the earth. Once you arrive, press into the feet to lift up the hips and then reach that right arm behind you. This can be a really beautiful pose. It can be a little intense. So we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand down. Bring the right leg up, back into your 3-legged dog. And then exhale, bringing the hands, or the feet, or the foot, the one foot in between the hands. We're gonna find our way into our warrior 2. So I'm just gonna adjust a little bit. Rotate that back foot. You want the back foot parallel with the short edge side of the mat. Come down low, and when you're ready, you can cartwheel the arms up. So we're working on nice straight arms that are relaxed, that are away from the ears. We're working on really pressing into the back foot, particularly that outside edge, and coming in nice and low, working our way to a 90-degree angle. I'm not quite there, just about in the front leg. Notice if your knee's going in, just tell it to go back where it came from. Everything needs to be stacked in order to keep you safe. So you want your hip and your knee in line. You want your knee pointing over those middle toes. And also notice if you're like this, we want our hip points and our shoulders in line. This is a great time for a mirror. So we're looking over the right fingertips. We're coming down nice and low into the hips. Don't worry, I won't keep you here forever. Big breaths. And as you inhale, we're really strengthening. And as you exhale, just allow your body to chill, allow it to relax. Good, next breath in, go ahead and straighten the leg. We're gonna keep our feet exactly the way we are, keeping our hands for right now exactly the way they are. We're gonna send our hip to the back. Go ahead and start to tilt, tilt, tilt. Once you can't tilt anymore, then you can fold over for our triangle pose. So within our triangle pose, we want things to be nice and stacked. We want our left arm up to the sky. We want our right hand either down onto our leg, this is perfect, or down to a block or a book, or even down like so. Chest to the left, really opening up here. And don't worry if this is uncomfortable for your neck looking up, feel free to look down or even look straight ahead. I have some neck stuff sometimes, so sometimes looking up doesn't feel super healthy for me. So this first go around, we're spending a little more time on all of these poses, and then we'll gradually get a little faster. All right, when you're ready, I want you to go ahead and lower, bend into that knee, and then come on up, back into your warrior 2. Inhale, reverse the warrior, left hand to left leg, right arm is up, and then staying low, bringing that right elbow to the right knee, reaching the arm up and over. If you're feeling it, if the shoulders are wanting it, maybe we make nice big circles with the arm, but not necessary. Good. All right, find your stillness. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to place both of our hands to the outside of our right foot. We're just gonna lift up that left heel, bend the knee, and bring the feet together at the top. Go ahead and lower the hips. And then, gonna step back, getting out of the frame. And then you're gonna make sure you're touching the earth as you bring the arms up into your chair. This isn't happening for you today. Bring the hands forward. You can make fists with the hands, and sometimes that really helps with just making sure everything is nice and stable and nice and engaged here. Lower those hips down. How low can you go? We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hands back and fold. Perfect. All right, bringing the hands down to the earth, or to blocks, or to your legs. Whatever is working for you. Few breaths here, getting ready for the other side. And then once you feel like you're there, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sending the right and the left foot back for high plank on our feet or on our toes. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and lift the left leg up this time, bending the left knee. Maybe placing the right heel on the earth if it wasn't touching before. You can make circles here, or you can stay here. Once again, we're bringing the heart down to the earth, so always melting that heart down. And then if you want a little bit more, go ahead and allow that left leg to go over to the right. Lift up the hips, reach the arm back. Taking big breaths here. Releasing the neck if that feels safe and comfortable. And then when you're ready, bring it back over. Lifting up that left leg once again. And then bringing the foot in between the hands. Now you know where we're going. Get set up for your warrior two. So we're stacking everything, and only when we're nice and low do we open up. Just come out of it a little bit when you start to stand. Just remind yourself you can do this. You got this. We want to feel a stretch. If it gets to where you're feeling pain, come on out of it, of course. But just kind of see where your body's at today. See what it can do. And as you bring those shoulder blades in together, you'll notice that your collarbone really just opens up into a smile here. Taking really big breaths in and out to encourage a heart rate that's nice and slow, a body that's nice and calm, even as we're really holding these poses that, while they're still, are tougher than they appear. Good. Straighten the leg. Keep the feet where they are. We're gonna tilt forward all the way to triangle pose. Reaching this time the right arm up, the left arm down. Gaze from the floor to the sky. Whatever works. And this time, maybe imagining the breath going all the way from your lungs down that right side, down the right leg, into the feet. And then switching directions once it gets to the toes. And following that path with your mind. bend to the knee, come on back up. Warrior two. Reverse the warrior, right hand to right leg this time. Feeling strong, lowering, lowering, and then extended side ankle. Left elbow onto left knee, right arm up, maybe making circles. We'll see. But otherwise, just hanging out here. Not allowing the body to collapse. Remember what that felt like when we were in our tabletop, but really pressing into the elbow, engaging the arm to help you lift. So all of our lifting, all of our reaching in yoga comes from the ground up. So stay with it here. Good, one more breath. Good, exhale, release those hands. Come into that little crescent, that high lunge, bend, and bring it on forward. Lower the hips, and actually this time, let's bring the hands behind us. Bringing the hands together, rolling the shoulders back, and opening up the hips at the same time as we're in this nice chair pose. So keeping the chest lifted, drawing the hands towards the earth, drawing the hips down. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Shake out the legs if they need it. And then when you're ready, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high plank. And exhale, low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then bring it on down for your child's pose. Taking around 5 breaths here, so great time to get some water. I'm gonna check to make sure, yeah, everything's still looking good. Hopefully this recording lasts. So find your way back. So slightly slow flow today, but a slow burn, we'll call it. And just taking it easy. All right, now when you're ready, we're gonna pop back up into our downward facing dog. So by now, we should be able to find some stillness in our downward facing dog. It should feel a little bit better. Now we're gonna do something a little bit different on this side. So inhale, right leg up, just like last time. But then on an exhale, I want you to crunch that knee in to the right elbow, to the right wrist, over to the left wrist, left wrist, over to the left elbow. And then I want you to plant that foot on the outside of the left edge of the mat. Keep your right hand down to the earth, but lift the left arm up. So this is fallen star pose. So once again, right leg is over to the left. Right hand is on the mat, left hand is lifted. And then bring the hand down and bring the leg back on up to the sky. Good, once you arrive, we're gonna once again crunch it in, but this time just place the foot in between the hands. Lower the knee, and then open on up. into your lunge. So hands are back, shoulders are open, chest is lifted. We might even be looking down or looking up to the sky. Good, and then when you're ready, send the hips back and bring the hands down, folding over this right leg. Couple breaths here, in and out, in and out. Good, next breath in, coming back into that. Inhale, exhale to your half split. Couple more times, inhale, open, exhale, half split. One more, inhale, open, exhale, half split. Coming back into that lunge, but curling the toes under, so we are lifted. And inhale, high crescent. It's a little different from what we did before, but stay with me here. We're coming down nice and low. If you're having trouble feeling it into the left thigh, I invite you to bend the knee, send that heel back to straighten the legs, and you should definitely start to feel it. Good. And then when you're ready, this is where it can be a little bit complicated, so I'm gonna come back so you can see everything. We're gonna bend the knee. We're gonna bring this left knee behind the right. So this is like a little crane type pose. The name right now is escaping me, but good for the balance. Bend, bend, bend. And then when you're ready, this right hand is gonna come to the earth. We're gonna kick the left foot back, point the toes over to the left, and we're gonna come into our half moon. So don't worry if you're feeling a little wobbly, I'm right here with you today. We're stacking the hips, or working toward that stacking. Our left hand can be up to the sky or even at your heart. Some people like that. And your gaze can be anywhere from the floor, which is the easiest, to the sky, which is the most difficult. And we're here for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Bring it beside the feet. And let's go ahead and bring our feet out nice and wide, the toes together, and we'll lower the hips on down. Little yogi squat here. So like I said, not going super fast in this flow today, but hopefully feeling something. Definitely think I'll be a little sore tomorrow. And if you like that kind of thing from your yoga, I hope you are too. Then when you're ready, you're going to just lift the hips on up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Perfect. All right, we're gonna find that same thing on the other side. This time, lift the left leg up to the sky. And exhale, bring the left leg or the left knee into the left elbow, the left wrist, the right wrist, the right elbow. Plant it on the earth, reach the right arm up, fallen star. Really nice pose. I really like this, especially after having done wild thing. It's just a nice kind of different, gives you some of the same feelings. Good. And then when you're ready, go ahead and place the hand down. Lift that left leg up to the sky. And then exhale, bring it in between the hands. Lower the right knee. And just like before, we're inhaling to open up. Once you arrive, let's lower down into that right hip. Hopefully you're feeling it here. Our chest is lifted. The crown of the head is reaching to the sky, growing nice and tall here. And then when you're ready, let's take it back as we straighten the leg, folding over, sending those hips on back. So you'll notice that for me right now, I have my left foot straight on the earth. It could be a kind of an intense stretch because it's getting the front of the foot, which we don't always get. If that's uncomfortable, just lift those toes, bend the knee, do what's gonna feel nice. I just know, for me personally, I need to stretch the top of my feet because I don't do it. So, your choice. Good, inhale, next inhale, we're gonna open on up. And then exhale to fold. Inhale, open. And exhale to fold. Good, I lost count. Let's go one more time each way. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Good, and then one more time coming into that lunge. Then curling the toes, lifting up into our high crescent. Once again, if we're having trouble engaging the leg, bend the knee, and then send the heel back. You'll notice a really big stretch here as you do that. Lower on down, keep it nice and low here. Stay strong, stay with me. Good, then we're gonna find that same little crunch in, so we're gonna bend, and we're just gonna send the right knee into the left. Hands can be at heart center or beside you. And then when you're ready, lower on down, this time putting the left hand on the mat, lifting the right leg, opening up the right toes so they're facing to the right, and then either lifting the right hand or bringing it to the chest or even to the hips. Opening up, half moon. Big breaths here. In and out. In and out. Perfect. All right, bring the feet down to the earth. Once again, we're gonna bring the feet out nice and wide, toes out. And this is a great time. If crow is in your practice, you can stay here. This is uncomfortable, you can come forward or backward. If you wanna try a little crow action in your house, feel free to do that now. You can pause this and even get a pillow if you're feeling a little worried. But with our hands here at heart center, we're gonna place them right in front of us. We want our index fingers to be parallel. Come on onto the tiptoes, and we're gonna place our knees on the backs of our arms. So you'll notice you can start to lift one foot and then the other. If you want to try both, you can do so. Looking a few inches in front of you, working those arms to straight, and then taking a break when you need it. Take a few more moments here and just little playtime. I know I have some students who like that. you're with me, I just looked over at myself. It was a good reminder to myself not to collapse. So we're gonna press into the feet, lifting the chest, always lengthening. You'll hear that a gazillion times in yoga because it's important. And then when you're ready, come on down and bring the legs out in front. All right, awesome job. You guys did amazing, I'm sure. So let's start to find some restoration. So we're going to kind of just work the heels a little closer. You can bend the knees here, and we're simply gonna fold over. Now as you fold, maybe you can touch the thighs, maybe you can touch the feet. Maybe you're feeling something here. If you are, stay here. If you're not, work those heels forward a bit. See what happens. Maybe work them a little bit more. Maybe they become flat. But take what you need. Just until you feel something. You can let it go. Good. All right, come on back. We're gonna bring our right foot into the left, like so. And then we're gonna take a slight little twist and start walking forward, this time finding that little twist. Good. Then when you're ready, come on back. We're gonna put our right hand kind of behind that right thigh, and then I invite you lifting the left arm, lifting up the hips, sending that left arm back. This is kind of like Wild Thing, but on the ground. And then coming on back. Take this right foot, this right leg. We're gonna bring it out to where it's parallel now with maybe the short edge for me, or the long edge for me, maybe the short edge for you. And we're gonna stack the left ankle on top of the knee. If that is not happening for you, feel free to come into an easy seat, even come into butterfly. We're just trying to work out the hips a little bit. So, now the thing about hips, it can be really uncomfortable. A lot of people hold a lot of tension in the hips, and that's why it can feel so tight sometimes when you're doing these poses. So again, as long as you're not feeling any pain, try to stick with it. Come out as much as you need, take breaks as you need it, but notice that every time you exhale, as the body starts to relax, the hips are going to open up a little bit more. It might be a millimeter during the minute we're going to hang out here. And if it is, that's awesome. So in our practice, we're just meeting ourselves where we are. We're not concerned about what other people might be doing or where we wish we were. Because like I said, yoga looks different every single day. Awesome. All right, so you're here, or maybe you're in butterfly, or maybe you're in an easy seat. We're gonna take the right hand, put it down to the earth, reach the left arm up and over. Good, and then back to center. Awesome. All right, this time finding the other side. So bringing the left foot in, toes are pointed up. Slight little twist, and then walk those hands over. Maybe they touch the thigh, the calf, maybe they touch the feet or the toes. Making sure you're not feeling any pulling in the back. If you're feeling pulling, come up, readjust, and don't go as far. Big breaths here. Good. When you're ready, come on back up. This time, our left hand behind our left leg. We're reaching the right arm up. We're lifting the hips. Arm comes up and over. Maybe the gaze comes down to the mat. And then back to center. You're gonna find that fire log, that double pigeon pose on this side as well. So our left leg stays on the mat like so, working its way to parallel with whatever edge of the mat you're facing. And then this time stacking the right, ooh, very tight on this side, on top of the left. If you're at home and you already maybe have a pillow nearby, you can put a pillow between the legs. That can help you relax a little bit more. If this is not happening, there's butterfly, there's easy seat. Just find something good for the hips. And as we hang out here, just reminding ourselves to breathe, allowing the eyes maybe to close here. And then just checking in. Where are we at? How are we feeling? Is there anything more that you need from your class today? We are gently coming out of this pose. We're gonna place our feet on the mat like so. We're gonna bring our hands behind us, roll the shoulders back, lift up the chest, lift up the hips, reverse tabletop, let that neck go. Big breaths here as we press, as we lift, lift, lift. And then chin to chest, slowly come on back. Extend the legs out nice and long. Keep the hands where they are. Roll the shoulders back. Little reverse plank this time. Lift, lift, lift. And lower on down. Awesome. All right, feet come back. Slowly rolling on to your back. And we'll bring our knees into our chest, rocking side to side because that feels really nice on the low back. And then the next time you're over to the left, go ahead and just let those legs fall. If this is uncomfortable with them stacked, feel free to extend that bottom foot We're flexing the feet wherever we are. And we're opening up the right arm to the right side. Maybe looking up to the sky or looking over to the right. Good, back to center, very quickly, over to the other side. Stacking the legs if that's comfortable, lifting, reaching the left fingertips over to the left, flexing the feet, so the feet are facing the same direction as the toes. Breathing into this twist. Awesome. Coming back to center, giving yourself one final hug, and then exhaling out into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. I'd like you to make sure that you stay here for at least a few minutes, just allowing yourself to seal in all of those good feelings that we have cultivated together. And I appreciate you tuning in and joining me for some more stay home yoga. And thank you so much. Namaste.